There is a building in Midtown Manhattan that was, for a single year, the third tallest structure on Earth. It rose during the worst economic crisis in American history. And when it opened, it changed forever what a skyscraper could mean. The year was 1929. John D. Rockefeller Jr. had committed to developing a vast plot of Midtown Manhattan, land originally belonging to Columbia University, which had leased the property since 1814. His plan was ambitious from the start. He had initially partnered with the Metropolitan Opera, which hoped to build a new home on the site, but when the opera withdrew following the market crash, Rockefeller found himself holding a 12-acre lease with no anchor tenant and no obvious path forward. Then the stock market collapsed on October 24th, a day history would call Black Thursday. Banks failed. Unemployment spread across the nation like a drought, eventually reaching 25% of the American workforce. Most men of wealth retreated. Rockefeller pressed forward. He needed a centerpiece, something that would anchor the entire complex, signal confidence in the future, and generate enough rental income to justify an unprecedented private construction project in the middle of a depression. The result was 30 Rockefeller Plaza, 66 stories, 850 feet tall, a building so large it was assigned its own zip code. The project fell to Raymond Hood, the lead architect of Rockefeller Center, working within a collaborative firm known as the Associated Architects, which also included Harvey Wiley Corbett and Wallace Harrison among its principals. Hood was given a problem that would have paralyzed lesser designers. The 1916 zoning resolution required that buildings set back from the street as they rose, preventing canyons of shadow from swallowing the city's streets. Hood could have built a conventional stepped tower. Instead, he used the law as an instrument of beauty. The tower's eastern section was recessed so deeply into the block that it could have risen straight without any setbacks at all. Hood added them anyway. 3 setbacks each on the north, south, and east elevations. He said they represented, in the words of architecture expert Alan Balfour, a sense of future, a sense of energy, a sense of purpose. Every setback corresponded precisely to the top of an elevator bank inside. Structure and ornament became one. Hood also established a rule: no office space would sit more than 27 feet from a window. That was the maximum distance sunlight could reach at New York City's latitude. Every setback on the northern and southern facades exists in part to honor that principle. Light was not incidental. Light was load-bearing. The numbers behind the construction are staggering. The superstructure consumed 58,500 short tons of steel, fabricated and erected at a pace that required roughly 3,000 workers on site each day at peak construction. The facade required 212,000 cubic feet of Indiana limestone, 4,100 cubic feet of Deer Island granite quarried from the coast of Maine, and more than 10 million bricks. 6,000 windows, containing nearly 20,000 individual panes, covered over 168,000 square feet of glass. 5,200 of those windows came equipped with Venetian blinds. In total, the construction of 30 Rockefeller Plaza and the surrounding complex cost approximately $125 million, the equivalent of more than $2 billion today. Westinghouse installed 8 express elevators capable of moving at 1,200 feet per minute. One reached 1,400 feet per minute, earning it the title of the fastest passenger elevator ride on record at the time of its completion. The elevators alone accounted for 13% of the building's entire construction cost. The sculptural program was equally deliberate. Sculptor Lee Laurie, who had previously contributed decorative work to the Nebraska State Capitol, designed the entrance loggia's defining work, a frieze called Wisdom, flanked by sound and light. Above the central arch, an inscription from the book of Isaiah reads, "Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." It was a statement of faith carved in stone during a decade that had tested every institution. Inside, muralists Giuseppe Maria Sert and Frank Brangwyn covered the lobby corridors in allegorical scenes of human progress, communication, and spiritual struggle. The centerpiece mural, Sert's American Progress, depicts Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ralph Waldo Emerson alongside ordinary men building modern civilization. These works replaced Diego Rivera's controversial mural, Man at the Crossroads, which Rockefeller ordered destroyed in 1934 after Rivera refused to remove a portrait of Vladimir Lenin from the composition. Construction on the superstructure began in March 1932. The first tenant moved in on April 22nd in 1933. That tenant was the Radio Corporation of America, and for decades the building bore its name. NBC established its headquarters here. The Rainbow Room opened on the 65th floor in 1934, becoming one of Manhattan's most celebrated dining venues. An observation deck called Top of the Rock eventually drew millions of visitors skyward. The building has changed names 3 times. RCA became GE in 1988. GE became Comcast in 2015. But the structure itself has never wavered. It remains the tallest building in Rockefeller Center. It remains the headquarters of NBC. It remains the 31st tallest building in New York City and the 65th tallest in the United States. The entire Rockefeller Center complex has been designated both a New York City landmark and a National Historic Landmark. What Hood and Rockefeller built during the Great Depression was more than a skyscraper. It was proof that civilization does not pause for catastrophe. That ambition, properly directed, can outlast crisis. The limestone still stands. The light still reaches every desk. And the city that once doubted the whole endeavor never stopped looking up at it. If you found this history worth knowing, subscribe for more stories of human ambition in steel, stone, and concrete.